Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chuck Utek. As usual, my partner in crime, Steve Myers. Welcome to CyHawkThoughts. Steve,
Yes.
how's it going?
Not too bad. Good to be back. So, Hawkeyes had a good victory.
Yes, they did. I was nervous.
I wasn't.
No, you were right.
Apparently, we shouldn't have been. I'm just glad that we're finally into the show now. We usually don't have the giggles here on CyHawkThoughts, but I think we're on take 7.
Absolutely. And after season 1 comes out on DVD, we'll give you some information on that later on. But definitely, there's going to be some good outtakes on that release. Hey, we're going to have like 2 hours of outtakes right now.
Maybe some outtakes on this live version too.
You never know.
I don't even know where to begin. It's going to be a pretty short week. This one won't be too long for those who have been
coming off a bye week for Iowa State. Iowa's going on a bye week. Well, why don't we wrap up? I know Iowa fans still probably don't want to talk about the past, but we're talking about the past.
Well, what do you have to look forward to this week?
Well, nothing. So let's talk about last week.
Yeah, so thoughts on the Louisiana, see, I still can't say it right.
ULM and the Warhawks. I thought they'd come out a little tougher, but, you know, if I was paid $1 million, I'd probably just show up there and say hi as well. But, you know, it had been a gauntlet for them. Iowa came out, they weren't messing around. And, you know, when they let Vandenberg just throw the ball, and it looked good. It was impressive. We'll see. I'm sure Penn State will have some wrinkles in 2 weeks, and it'll be interesting. Looking forward to it. Marcus Coker did play. They let him bruise a little bit.
Marty Terrell, sorry.
Yeah, but it was interesting tidbit at the time. Bullock came in, fumbled right away. That wasn't awesome. But what are you going to do?
I don't know. So, you dropped the ball, I guess.
So, 12-game season, regular season, 4 games in for Iowa. A little report card real quick, 3-1. Offense started out this season probably about a C+. Working up, you know, if you use the last 5 quarters of it, I'd say they're close to a B or B+ now. Defense, they're probably still working a C in my book. I'll tell you what, Jordan Bernstein, thank you for coming to play this season. I'm glad you're healthy. Hope you stay healthy all season. You are working your way up to maybe being drafted next year, which would be cool. And last year, no one would have ever said that about Bernstein, and that's great. It's good to see those kids excel. He looks like he's having fun out there.
He's a local kid too,
yeah,
so it's always good.
Love to see the local kids having fun. And hey, when I was a kid, I cheered on his dad at iCubs games. It's nice to cheer the son on. Hey, another Bernstein playing high school ball still. That's fun to watch as well.
So, now just out of curiosity, and from my perspective, and obviously I don't pay attention as much as you do, why the offense only a C+, except for maybe the last 5 quarters? I mean, let's take out the Pitt game.
Okay. Oh, yeah, if we remove Pitt game, let's talk about some struggles, and maybe that has to fall on Coker. Maybe it has to fall a little bit on play calling. Not as aggressive as at times Iowa State game. There's some times probably could have gone for the throat more, the dagger, had some turnovers. Just looked uneasy, like every other play had to be play action or a fairly conservative run. And then now they're deciding to just kind of take the lid off.
Okay, so what you're saying basically is that it may not even be so much the offense performing, but the actual plays that are being called in a sense.
Absolutely. And
I feel like they've been effective. I mean, granted, it went into 3 overtimes, but you put 38 points on Iowa State. How many did you put on Tennessee Tech?
Well, and that was in the rain, so that's a tough one. And defense,
but you still put up a lot of points.
Well, yeah, still scored.
You ended up coming back in the 4th quarter against Pittsburgh, but once again had a pretty high point total and had a decent point total against Monroe.
Yeah. Oh, there's room for improvement.
Well, and I just didn't know about.
No,
I mean,
that's
2
a great
grades
devil's advocate. Yeah, you know, it's and there's a lot of room left there. They need to be a little more assertive on offense. Vandenberg, I'm a little nervous about. He's still going for, in my eyes, and I'm not an expert when it comes to breaking down the pass offense of Ken O'Keefe. But to me, it's like he's going for his first read. His first guy, if he's not seeing him, he's throwing the ball away, or he's throwing the ball anyway. And hey, that's okay, and it worked great against Pitt because he completed those passes.
Yeah, but he was on fire.
So, we'll just have to see. Penn State game, a little over a week away. That's always a big game for Kirk, and it's a big game starting the Big Ten season. So,
well, and I think, I don't know, it's just me, but if you guys put up another 25, 28 points against Penn State's D, you're going to have to increase that from a C+. I would already give them a B on offense. I think it's their defense that, might be a little bit of a struggle right now. Big plays. I mean, Louisiana Monroe, they had some sustained drives, but I thought the defense played well in that game. Now, there's probably an overmatched, defense compared to their offense, but I honestly think if you put up 24 points against a Penn State defense, I think you guys are going to be just fine on the offensive category this season.
Hey, listen to that guy. That sounds good.
Well, let's hope it happens. I'm ready to see Paterno go. You think this is his last year?
No, he's got 6 or 7 at least more. I think 90. I think he'll go to he's 90, unless something really bad happens to him, and I don't want that. I think he'll go and.
Well, I'm not sitting there saying that the guy's going to have a heart attack. I'm sitting there saying that. I mean, let's think about this year. They have a good defense. I mean, their offense is horrendous. What did Alabama do? They just kind of destroyed them.
Yeah.
Should Temple be in the ball game with Penn State?
No, but Penn State always has had, every now and then, not always, I shouldn't say that, but they do have from time to time, if you look at their history, they have games where they struggle a little bit or guys figure it out, and then, boy, you get into Big Ten or even back in the late 80s in their heart of their independent season, and Notre Dame would come up, and it might be a down year, but then linebacker U would be right in there with them. And they're tough. And, maybe Paterno, he's got a couple more years. I just think he's one of those coaches that if he does leave or is gone, it'll be like Bear Bryant, and in the next 3 months he'll pass away. Because that's all he knows. That's what he does.
Yeah, I just have this feeling this is last year. But who knows?
Right.
Who knows? That's why people and you and I, that's what gives us things to talk about.
Absolutely.
So, another quick question. Iowa State's 3-0. Hawks are 3-1. The one loss coming to Iowa State. Texas Iowa State coming up. Bigger game than maybe some or most had because of Iowa State's record at this point. Is the Iowa State game played too early?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. I'm going to say no. However, if we were sitting here at CyHawkThoughts studio a year ago at this time, I would have said yes. Absolutely. Because what else is there in November? Let's get a late November game, first week in December game. Maybe that would conflict too much with conference tournaments or playoffs, but let's at least go end of Thanksgiving time or somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. That'd be fine with me. Right now, with the way things are, the Iowa-Nebraska game, I think it's right where it should be. And what I would worry about myself if it was put to the end for both teams after a pretty brutal Big 12 season, a brutal Big 10 season. It worked back in 2001. I don't know. And Iowa wasn't that good that year. Iowa State was pretty good that year. And that game worked. And I think it worked maybe from my standpoint of Iowa fan because that was cap off the season and make it a pretty successful season. Iowa had been struggling against Iowa State. It would have been a good game to win. But I don't know. I like it where it's at. It's early in the season. I think it's big. A lot of Iowa fans will say, hey, it's Iowa State Super Bowl. It's not Iowa Super Bowl. There's bigger fish to fry. If it's at the end, and no matter what, that's going to be a big game to play to. But I like it up front. It's kind of like the Daytona 500. Let's get it out of the way, build up.
I can't complain about the weather. I mean, you're in Iowa City or Ames in November, and it's just not the same type of atmosphere as you'll have in September. So, I don't know. I would like to see it at the end of the year because I'm sick and tired of watching all these rivalries happen at the end of the year, and then ours is put on the back burner. The United States doesn't see this as a rivalry, even though we do. I mean, if you look at the major media outlets.
I like it. It's the same week as Notre Dame, Michigan every year. And those are two of my favorite games to watch and to have them on there. But, no, that's a great point. If Iowa State was going to be at the end of the year and they have something big to play for, got to get a better trophy. Yeah. Got to get something better.
Oh man, I don't even know what's going to happen on that trophy. But some news out of the Big 12: BYU. Rumor has it, tweets and whatnot. Maybe the member to replace Texas A&M. So BYU, welcome. If this is the case, I think it's a great move. I think you got a national fan base that's just going to increase. Everything for the Big 12, TV contracts, travel. You're gonna see sold out stadiums. Well, if they're not, they're gonna get closer too because Mormons are spread all over the nation. So they may go to the game in whoever's area just because
they don't have to worry about Larry Eustace like incidents.
So yeah, I think it's good. See you later, Texas A&M. Don't care. Missouri, just get on board. No one likes the conference bicycle.
No, fish or cut bait, Missouri, and hopefully you're fishing with the Big 12 because I don't like them. I don't like seeing them in SEC. I don't think that's a good move.
No, I don't think it is either. They're going to be the farthest north team in the SEC. No one in the SEC is going to want to play up in Columbia in cold weather. I mean, it's hard enough to go and poach, players from the southeast. If you're in the conference, those are the players you're trying to go get for sure. And they're going to be like, I can go to Florida, Alabama, it's warm all year round, or I can go to Missouri where it can reach 20 degrees in November. So I don't know. I think they should stay with the Big 12. Why not?
Better move for you, Tigers.
So